What's up, Bulldogs? All right, I made a video called When She Says This, You Are a Little Biatch. And what I was talking about in that video was the idea that if a woman says what's wrong, then you've messed up. And so I got some comments, some good ones on this, but I wanted to respond to this particular comment because I think it's important. It's always difficult in a short video to convey all of the nuances of what I'm saying. So that's also why I do have the Bulldog Mindset membership, so we can go into more depth there. If you want to check that out, click the link down below. But let's just take a look at this comment, and I want to address this real quick because he's got a really good point here, which I want to make sure there's no confusion about this. So in this comment, he says here, sorry, John, I don't know if I fully agree with you on this one. I do agree on the not coming off like a little B word and pouting about things. Nothing manly about that. However, I think it's appropriate to let your woman know when they have truly crossed the line. I'm not talking about petty annoyances, but if she's really overstepped and hit you with big time disrespect, she should know that you're less than happy about it. Again, not being a baby about it, but also not so stoic that she could never guess that you're annoyed with her behavior. Otherwise, where are the consequences to her, assuming you don't want to end the relationship and send her on her way? Of course, your mileage may vary, and a lot of it depends on the woman. If she is quick to recognize her missteps and work to make things better immediately, then that doesn't leave a lot of need or room to be annoyed. However, if she is like a majority of women in 2025 and averse to personal responsibility, then I think she should know that her poor choices and behavior has consequences. So I agree and I don't agree. So let's sort of break this down. So first of all, let me say that I appreciate the comment. Okay, I think there's some really good points here. And you've highlighted something that I missed in the video because I didn't convey this. Again, short video, not possible to convey all of the nuances of it. But you're right that, first of all, he says here, I do agree on not coming off like a little B word and pouting about things. So that's the main focus of the video, right? Is that I don't want you to come across as pouting about things. He says nothing manly about that. However, I think it's appropriate to let your woman know when they've truly crossed the line. And I'm not talking about little petty annoyances, but if she has really overstepped and hit you with big time disrespect, she should know that you're less than happy about it. Okay, so I agree with this. However, here's the way to do it, and here's what I'm talking about here. So first of all, you should be confronting her about the thing, not her noticing that you're upset and confronting you. That is the female behavior. That is being overly emotional. That's being a little bitch. So let me give you an example. Let's say that your woman does something that you don't like. It doesn't even have to be massively disrespectful. Even the smallest disrespectful thing, you need to nip that in the bud because you have to train that behavior, right? It's very important that you do this as a man and that you have your boundaries and you have your standards, and they're very, very clear, and it has to be really sharp, your edge as to what you will tolerate, right? What is okay, right? Otherwise it needs to be addressed because any form of disrespect is not good. It's going to undermine the relationship and make her continue to lose respect for you. So let's say that your woman disrespects you in some way or something that you don't like. What you should do is, in most circumstances, immediately address it. Now, there might be some issues where you're in public, you're in a place where you need to just give a look and say, let's talk about this later, but you're going to talk about it before she does. That's the key. So let's say that your woman disrespects you in some way. You immediately say, hey, what was that? Give her a chance. Say, okay, what was that? Did you mean to say this? When you said that way, this is how it came across. It really depends on the severity of it and what the woman is and her accountability and things like that. But in many cases, you might need to spell it out and say, look, that's not cool. I don't like that. I don't allow anyone to talk to me in the way that you just talked. I don't allow anyone to whatever it is, right? That's not okay with me to be talked to in that way. If you do this, then this is what I'm going to do. That's setting a boundary. It's best if you do this in a loving way. You do have to have some firmness to it, and depending on the severity and depending on the relationship, right? So if it's a brand new type of situation, you want to have a little bit more authority in your voice because she hasn't earned anything from you at this point. So if you go on a date with a woman for the first time and she just says something or does something disrespectful, you should have a response that is somewhat severe in the sense that, oh wow, I don't like that. Why would you say something like that? That's highly disrespectful. Like, I don't have people talk to me that way. You're very much setting the pace, right? Now there's some ways you can play it off where you kind of joke about it depending on the vibe that you're getting from her, and you can, if you've already built some rapport, and you can say, wow, that's not very cool to say that. I think you probably meant this, but you know what, I'll tell you what, you can buy me a drink or whatever. You can do something like that, but you do need to address it. Okay, we're kind of getting into more off into the weeds, into advanced topics, but the point is that he is correct in the sense that you don't want to just ignore this stuff. Now, if there's very, very small stuff that she's just like, you should always be unfazed. When you're unfazed and you're strict in what you're saying, it doesn't come across as that you're butthurt. That's the real key here, right? And so the issue that I'm talking about in that video and addressing here is when a woman does something that, let's say, that disrespects you, and instead of you immediately addressing it and setting the clear boundary, telling her that's not acceptable, you harbor some resentment. You're upset about it. You're visibly upset about it. You're displaying that on your face, okay? Maybe you're giving her the cold shoulder or the silent treatment, or you're just huffing and puffing, or you're just, being a little bit more silent. Whatever it is, right? We've all done this before. I've done this before. That's when you're being a little bitch, because you're not stepping up and being the man. You need to address the thing. If it's such that you're not going to address it, then don't let it bother you. But if it is something that bothers you, address it. That's what you have to do. He says here, not so stoic that she could never guess you're annoyed with her behavior. You do want to be so stoic that she could never guess that you're annoyed with the behavior, because, like I said, you're addressing this thing. You're telling her about it. But you should never appear to be annoyed. You should always appear calm and cool and collected, no matter what happens, no matter the circumstance. There's no need to lose your head. There's no need to even get flustered about a thing. You address the thing. You can do it as simple, there's different styles that you can apply to this, but you can be that unfazed and be like, oh, honey, that, that's cute, but you can't talk to me like that. That's not cool. I don't like that at all. You know what I mean? Damn, you're so cute. You're so beautiful, but oh yeah, the mouth on you, you gotta watch that. I'm not cool with that. Something like that. Or again, I'm just off the top of my head. I don't have a circumstance to react to, but you get what I'm saying. It's like whatever your style is, doesn't matter. But the idea is that you're not being phased, no matter how you're responding to this, and you're addressing it. You can address it more sharply, more, it depends on the circumstance, right? Again, I don't want to get into all the nuances of this. If you want a more detailed thing, check out the Bulldog Mindset membership. I've got a ton of content on there. Just click the link down below. And then he's saying here that otherwise, where are the consequences to her? Assume you don't want to. Yeah, again, the consequences come from the boundary, right? It's not from cold shoulder. It's not from these type of things. It's that you're creating this boundary. Yeah, I think that pretty much addresses it. But I appreciate you leaving the comment. Like, guys, if you see something that I'm saying that you don't agree with, leave a comment down below. I want to address these things because there's a lot of nuances to this. But I hope you can understand that what I'm trying to communicate to you is that as a man, you should be unfazed. You should not let a woman get to you, but you should still address issues. Like, you need to bring up and address issues. You need to create conflict, not have conflict come to you. You as a man need to be direct. Either it bothers you or it doesn't. A lot of things shouldn't bother you, okay? And in fact, realistically, you should be thinking about this logically. It's like, God, it's not cool because I understand, because I have standards, right? It's like, I'm not bothered by it. You could say whatever you want. Nothing you say is gonna faze me. You're not gonna piss me off or hurt my feelings. However, I have standards and I have respect for myself, and that's why I'm going to enforce these things and be like, nah, this is not gonna happen. You understand what I'm saying? So, all right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.